Happy New Year, everyone. Wow, we are currently in 2025 and everything's just happening now. It's crazy. All of the stuff that we've been planning for in our new bullet journals, we are ready to finally get into them. Can I just tell you how excited I am? I have already done some pre-planning. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, just as we start to basically migrate from our last year's 2024 bullet journal into this year's 2025 bullet journal. A lot of excitement around this one this year, both from the themes, this also being the Mark journal that I did along with Archer and Olive this year, which was very exciting. And I thought, well, with all the different notebooks and things that I have to use this one as we get into the year. So we got this one all set up. I also thought we would talk today a little about time and place journaling. This idea that sometimes you need a journal for a certain time of your life, maybe a certain place in your life as you're getting up and you don't necessarily need to set up and use it all year long. I think that's kind of what we have been positioned, kind of predisposed to, that anytime you set up a new journal that you have to basically go ahead and just use that 100% of the time. And I don't know that I necessarily want to play that game this year with every single journal or every single thing that I have set up. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then I also got a humongous stationery order. I got it right at the end of the year, a ton of fountain pens. If you're not a fountain pen person, it's totally okay. We can still love and appreciate the fountain pens, and we'll talk a little bit about that before I get up and running, because today is a work day, so we have to get into that in just a little bit. So first thing, let's go ahead and chat and just say hello to the chat. What's up? See Leo the Short Guy's in there. How you doing, bud? Also, anyone who might be watching on the replay, don't forget, you can also drop your comments, have conversations in the descriptions in case you're not here for the live. I know that this is early for a lot of people, and totally okay, and we love our replay crew so much. So thanks for checking that out. And of course, we'll also have the live chat going if you're rewatching too. All these new settings that I'm learning about as I'm getting used to doing lives here on YouTube and making those things happen. I've also done a lot of research over the break too on how to get like the top-down view and this view as well. And I'm like almost there. I'm very, very close to it. And I'm excited to start experimenting with that more. So if you're a part of the lives, you like lives, I was thinking maybe we could do some plan with me's and things like that live, just in the moment, and see how it goes. So let's go ahead and start talking first about bullet journaling in 2025. So this is now going to be my 8th year of bullet journaling. How absolutely insane is that? I'm thinking back to this weekend. I posted the video of my brother and I. If you haven't watched that yet, please do. I've actually rewatched it almost 10 times now because I love watching it. It's just so funny. Every time I'm catching my brother like looking at the camera while I'm trying to be very intentional about helping him set up his bullet journal and like make that actually happen. And it's so much fun. So if you need a good laugh to start off the year, please do it. Very much fun. But I was thinking about his response to me where he was like, how long have you been bullet journaling? And I'm like, it's been 8 years. And he's like, wait, what? 8 years? That seems like such a long time. It's insane to me that something has worked out that well for me for so long. We've talked about this in previous lives as well, about how it really has kind of saved me from myself, because before I was kind of all over the place and trying to figure out how I'm going to do things digitally, work out of email, make all this different stuff work. And the bullet journal has really kind of pulled me together over the past 8 years of I've learned about what bullet journaling actually is. We've gone through the ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows of how I bullet journal. And I'm sure if you have been as well, you've experienced this too, where we're kind of following along with the community and what everyone else is doing. And then we kind of go a little anti-community for a minute. And we're like, we're doing this my way. And then we come back into it. You kind of keep going into the way that you want to make this bullet journal work for you. And I feel so comfortable inside of my bullet journal now. It's one of those things where I just have accepted myself and my bullet journal a lot. I know that maybe sounds a little like woo-woo or whatever, but I just really have. So I thought I'd just kind of give a real quick share. I have a video up of the whole setup of my 2025 bullet journal. Definitely have done some different reels and shorts and all that kind of stuff about it too. But the one thing I'm most excited about this bullet journal this year is, well, first of all, that it's the one that I designed from Archer and Olive. Duh, like it's awesome. I'm so excited about it. But more than anything is actually my calendar index. So if you haven't watched the setup video, 2 years ago, I was using one of the planners from Appointed along with my bullet journal. And what I really loved about those kind of more calendar based planners is this calendar. So for my job, I work in design operations. I basically help support a team of user experience designers, content designers, my leadership team, everything. We plan, we do work, we have fun, we make all those things happen. And kind of part of that also is planning ahead for our team events, our workshops, all the things like that. The bullet journal system works for that. The future log works for that. But I love seeing dates on a page that I can pencil things in for. And that's essentially what I've already done. So this page, I'm just going to hold on my, my shoulder like a parrot, basically, is I have the month set up here. This is for January, even though we're already in January. And I've started penciling in some dates of things that are going on. The dots that we have up here essentially are for future log items. These are things that I need to remember for that month. So February is a good example where I put check our power hour topics and choose the workshop topics. That's to remind me that for the month of February, when we have our team's power hour, when we have our team's workshops, we know what's going on. I remind myself right in the beginning of the month. What I've also done, and I started actually filling this out in December, was already planning for next year, because there were so many things that happened like the November, December timeframe, especially around like holiday parties and team events and things like that, end of year planning. I've already put all of that into my future log for this year of 2025. And I did that in December of this past year, all of like 3 or 4 days ago. And it felt really good to do that. I was almost like, Mark, you're working really far in advance, but this is going to help me remember everything that I have going on this year or planning in the future, so I'm not working up to the last minute. So that's the first thing I'm excited about. I've got my goals page here. I was actually looking through last year's journal, this one here, and realized that I never actually filled out my goals page. I actually wrote it on a different page by itself. So I have this page. I'm going to be setting it up. I'll start working on those goals now. I think they're all due by the end of January for the rest of this year. But really excited about this, kind of the 5 top goals that I'm focused on for myself, and then also any milestones and dates that I'm hitting. We also have the help desk area over here. I was talking about this one too. I'm always in contact with the help desk at work. Am I getting a new computer? Do we have new software? Do we have some other type of approval that's going on that needs to be kind of pulled attention to? Because sometimes they get lost in the void. You put something in, you put in a ticket, and then you never hear back from it. I've had so many of those issues in the past. I decided to hit it head on. And then the rest of my pages are just going to be ones that we start to slowly fill out. These are my recurring meetings that I have. So we have our ops monthly that I have with some teammates. We have our design community notes, my one-on-one with my boss, our lead teams meeting. And then what I'm going to be setting up today, which is basically my first week of January. I'm inside of a B5. I'm a little bit iffy if I'm actually going to use this page for this week. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been thinking a little bit about potentially going back, just using some of the extra pages for this week, since it's only 2 days in this week, and then starting fresh next week with like a full page spread. So we'll see exactly how that works. But the way that the bullet journal will work for me this year is the same way that it has been working for me. I have all of my work related items in here. I do put some personal things in here as well. A great example: driving home from New Year's, we had an issue with the car. Check engine light came on. So I'll remind myself to call the dealership today to make that appointment. So those types of things will go in here. Picking my daughter up from after school activities, things like that, they'll go inside of here. But a lot of the other tasks and things that I have, at least for like at home at my desk, I'm using the Ugmonks analog system for that. And really great. I've done a review of this on my YouTube if you're interested in checking that out. But I've been using this for at home, so I don't have basically a separate bullet journal necessarily for here at my desk. Technically, I do, because I set one up last year. I just haven't really been using it, to be honest with you, at least for the daily log. And I have been using it for other things. I've been using it basically to track Instagram and YouTube analytics and followers and things like that. I also I have to do another one now. It's a good, bad thing, but I have a brand new tracker I had to set up for Instagram tracking, because Instagram's just been blowing up recently. I don't really know what's happening over there, but it's good stuff. So I created a new one, and I'm just going to continue to fill this out. And any kind of notes or things I have to jot down, definitely going to be happening there. And then the next topic I wanted to talk about today was kind of time and place planning. So something that I used last year, and I did a video on this too, of course, always videos, was the workout planner. And I set this out for myself. So around, well, I can look right inside of here and tell you when. Last year in August, I started a workout plan with a coach, one-on-one training virtually, and it's been amazing, but I've definitely fallen off. And I was thinking back to this because I was looking over this and I was thinking to myself, am I going to use this again this year? And I just looked through and I was like, Mark, like you did so good early on. You took the notes, you filled everything out. I was looking at, the days of the week, what workout I was doing, how many steps I was taking, the calories that I was intaking. And as I've gone on and on and on with it, and I'll start to show you here pages that November and December that I just didn't fill out. It wasn't that I wasn't working out. I'll be honest and very truthful with you. I wasn't working out as much, but I felt like around the October timeframe, I was so used to how I was eating and tracking my calories and things like that, that I didn't really feel the need to continue to write them down. It had moved outside of something new that I was doing and just became a natural habit for me. So it wasn't really as important for me, I personally feel, to track how many calories I was taking. I was focusing much more on like actually working out more than anything else. And then over the holiday, as I was rethinking this journal, I thought to myself, what's wrong with having a time and placed journal? This idea that for a certain amount of time, doesn't have to be specific. I have a place that I can put information into. In this case, this was my workout journal. So basically from, August through October, I wrote down all that information and it worked for me. It helped motivate me. It was important for me. I dropped 15 pounds from August until December. I'm very proud of myself for that. Feel stronger. I feel better about what I'm doing. So do I necessarily need to continue to track that? And my answer to that is maybe not to that level. And that's okay, right? Accepting that fact. I have plenty of other journals around here, notebooks, I'm sure we all do, on ideas that we set up that just never kind of continued to like work themselves out. And I think it's just this idea that sometimes we just need something for a certain amount of time in a certain place, and accepting that that's okay. And knowing that we can always bring those journals back out. I think often about some of my other journals. Let's go ahead and use my at desk journal, for example. This had an intention, it had a plan, it's functioning in certain ways very well. Maybe not all of them, but it's okay because I can always just flip to the next page and start whatever new thing that I necessarily need to start, and then just put it in my index what it is. So this technically can be that multi-subject bullet journal, the same way our regular bullet journals are for our lives. Maybe I just need to rethink it a little bit on exactly how I want to make that work for myself. So I think that acceptance of like, yeah, I'm going to use that for right now, and I might fall out of it. I might do something different. I have this really good, bad habit of trying to set up ink journals. So this was an older planner from the beginning part of last year. This is the Owl Paper Planner. Love them so much, or Night Owl Planner. And I decided that I was going to use the back pages on here for ink swatches. And I started to do that with some of the swatches that I have. Set up all these pages, started to do it. And then I was kind of like, oh, I like this other journal for this. Maybe can I keep going back and forth? The truth is I have another ink journal that I haven't finished yet. And while I love a good idea and starting something new and reusing something, that has all this extra space in it, I was like, no, Mark, stop yourself here. Let's go ahead and finish the other one that we have, and then we can always come back to this one. So it was like a really good idea. I executed on it, and then I was like, oh wait, remember, Mark, you still have another one that you need to do. Duh. So I think that I might use this approach more this year, essentially, this time and place. If I need something, I'll create maybe a collection page. I might take out a small pocket notebook, use it for as I need it, and then just be okay with saying, okay, I'm done with that. I don't need that right now. I'm going to go ahead and store it away. I'm not going to get rid of it because I might need to pull it out again later. And I think that's going to help me out a lot more as we get into this year. All right, we've got more people in the chat, so I definitely want to pay attention to it. If you've been on my lives before, you know that sometimes I get so in the zone. I'm like, well, I forgot about everyone else, but you're here. We're talking. We're going through it. So let me go and just read through these real quick, answer any questions that we might have. We have Zara just lurking since we've already started working. That's totally cool. You can just listen as we chat. Not a big deal. We've got a lot of love for Joey. Loving the video that I did with him with his bullet journal setup. Where's the brother at? I don't know where he is right now. He's on his cruise that he talked about. I think he's in the Bahamas or somewhere like that. He might be on his way back, but he'll be heading back to Kansas. I've been chatting back and forth with him as everyone's been sending messages. He's telling me that friends of his and clients of his have been messaging him like, oh my gosh, I saw you on YouTube. You guys are hilarious. This was so good. and they want more. And I was like, yeah, I would love that too. But the thing about Joey, if you didn't notice from the video, he is in some ways more ADHD than I am, all over the place, right? And the same thing goes when he's focused on work, that's what he's doing. He might, send me a random funny spoof video every now and again. I'll be like, hey, are you going to send me more? But it's the same thing like for me. Like this is a hobby for me. This isn't my full-time job. He has a full-time job. People are asking for podcasts from us. They're asking for more videos. They're asking for bullet journal setups from him. We're not going to get those. If I just want to be honest and open with you, because you all just met my brother for under an hour and it was edited and he was putting on his show. You can't really trust him to follow through on those things. And then honestly, I'll be very surprised if he actually follows through on the bullet journal. Not to upset anyone, but what we can do is next time he's in town, we can certainly do more videos because it was super fun. I had such a good time with him. We've got some love for the planner. My brother changed jobs and I felt like it would be the ultimate gift, so I gave it to him. I hope they're still available now. I don't have one. Oh no, Dadichi, you got rid of yours. First of all, thank you for gifting that. Thank you for supporting that. And there should still be some left. I don't remember. One of the sizes did sell out. Might have been the A5. So the B5s are still available. And the square, I believe, are too. So hopefully you can find it there. When there's action items that come out of those meetings, do you note them in your next weekly? That was a question about how I use my bullet journal for work. So when I have meeting notes that go inside of those collections, what I've been doing is if there's anything that I need to do, I actually will transfer those rapid log notes into my weekly, because otherwise I forget that they're there. Or sometimes what I'll do is I'll note that I had that meeting that week and I'll put a note underneath of that meeting to let me know that there were task items that I had to do there. I've lost things that I've had to do when I have those collection pages. So often I will just duplicate them somewhere else and just note that on the collection page that I've done it or I've migrated it to the page it needed to go to. So that's how I've been doing it. Another question, have you ever completed a digital bullet journal? Elise, I've never completed one, but I've set 2 of them up and use them kind of sparingly as I go through. The first one I used GoodNotes on. That was when I first started playing around with digital planning, and I had purchased a pre-made planner from someone and used that. What I don't love about GoodNotes personally is I don't like how they do business from a standpoint that they don't update their app. They create a new GoodNotes version. So I think I had like GoodNotes 2 or GoodNotes 3, and then they came out with GoodNotes 4 or 5, and I had to buy a new GoodNotes to get those new features. I don't love that personally. Not a fan of that whatsoever. So I stopped using it. Zinnia is the other one that I use. I love Zinnia. I have so many notebooks set up inside of there. They are absolutely amazing. They are, honestly, if I'm being very truthful with you, it's not because I've done work with them. This is my own personal feeling. I feel like they're one of the best digital planners in the game because they have people who have bullet journaled on their teams. They curate the content. There's features in Zinnia that I have not seen other places, and maybe they exist. I'm not going to say that I'm this amazing digital bullet journaler aficionado. But they have linking between pages. You can do it with images. You can add your own artwork. They have their own artwork. I have a collection in there too. If you're interested in like a minimalist approach, they have templates. They're doing everything right, in my opinion. So I have them. Completing. I've never really completed one necessarily. So that's where it is. Amanda, I've received a Passion Planner desk pad, and I'm going to incorporate that into my system as something I can carry with me when I have meetings out of the house or health appointments that I want to write notes in. That's awesome. I've heard such good things about Passion Planners. I've never used one personally. A few years ago over COVID, the creator, I believe, of Passion Planner was on we did kind of a group chat, and she joined us, and she's pretty amazing. So I love that. Got a good work on being healthy. Thank you. I feel very good about it. Good morning, Marcus. How you doing? Andrea, make sure I'm saying that right. Honestly, this is why I pretty much only have one bullet journal. I start with something that I don't need to keep, and I don't need to keep on with it. Yeah, that happens a lot. It's very smart. In the past, I've had multiple. I think 3 years ago, I had kind of 2 bullet journals. I had my regular bullet journal, and then I actually was also using the Owl Planner as well because it had the dates in it. I wanted to try it out, and it was too much for me. Even having like a desk journal and a bullet journal for me at my desk feels like a lot. Sometimes I forget that it's there, and then I have the Then I had the work journal, all these things. And I'm like, Mark, why do you have so many things in so many places? But I sometimes really like having things separated out. Just remembering that they're separated out is the hard part. Carla from New Zealand. What's going on, my New Zealand friends? What's up, Canada? How you doing? Good morning. Just came across your channel. Loving your content. Thanks, Maria. I really appreciate it. I think a lot of new people found me because of my brother's video. You're like, wait, is this a comedy channel? It's like, well, sometimes I can be funny, but it's about bullet journaling and having fun. So that's awesome. So I appreciate you following. Appreciate you checking it out. Check out that back catalog if you're interested in doing anything with bullet journaling and planning. Pen reviews, all the good stuff. Hello from South Texas. Yes, the video is very chaotic. Joey makes ADHD look fun. He does. He's turned it into a personality, not a superpower. He's turned it into his personality. That's just who he is. It was nice to see a cameo, but we come here for you. Thank you. I'm not going to say that I felt disheartened, that I knew everyone was going to love him because I love my brother very much as well. I love my sister too. But my brother and I our personalities are so much alike. And when we get together, it's electric. It's just so much fun. It's outrageous. We definitely offend. Like, we go too far. My wife tells me that I go too far. When you add my brother to the equation, we take things we take it straight to HR's face is what we do. And we're like, we don't care. Fire us. We're having fun. We're laughing until we're crying. That's how we do. All right. Amanda just gave mine to my partner. He loves it. He uses his own desk for work. Love that. So awesome. Is there a bullet journal that's fountain pen friendly and spiral bound that you can recommend? Ooh, that's a really good one from one Mr. Goodman. I personally have not found a spiral bound one that I like. The Archer and Olive notebooks are fountain pen friendly asterisk. I have never had a bad experience inside of an Archer and Olive notebook. I use fountain pens all the time. I've been using them for years. There are other ones that work really well, planners, but I haven't seen one spiral bound. So definitely in the chat or in the descriptions, comments or what those things are called, let us know if you know of a good spiral bound journal that is fountain pen friendly. That would be awesome. What's up from Maine? I reviewed the Onion Skin journal several months ago. I'm curious if you have an update. I have my Onion Skin. I actually started using it as another ink journal because, I need more of those because the paper is so cool. I haven't really used it for anything beyond that. And I started it and then I stopped because setting up ink swatch journals, it takes a lot of time. You have to open up every single bottle. You have to swatch it. You have to clean it. You have to let it dry. And when you have as many inks as I have back here to really officially set that up, it takes a lot. So I get in these moods and these modes where I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I fill kind of out a page or two, and then I don't come back to it for a while. So I think it's fun. I've seen a lot of other cool stuff recently. The Onion Skin Journal Instagram had posted some other examples of people and how they've been using it. And it's really cool. I love it. But I would personally never use it for a bullet journal because talk about ghosting. My God, the paper is so incredibly thin. It's like barely a sheet of vellum, but I think it's beautiful and awesome. And I really, really love it. So that's what I've been using that one for. Zinga looks good only for Apple platforms though. Yeah, unfortunately, Jen. That's just what they've built. I don't know that they're going to do Android version, but it's super cool. What's up, Italy? Okay, I love that we've gone super international. I already know that we've been international. I was telling my brother and I was telling my family about all my friends from New Zealand. They're like, how do you know so many people from New Zealand and Australia? I was like, I don't know what it is about the Kiwis, but like we just connect. It just works out. I absolutely love that. Brooke. I have a separate notebook to do monthly logs and transfer things into it each month so I don't lose track of those things. But it's a special kind of thing. Absolutely. Brooke, you are one of many that I think have found really good uses and ways to be able to put those things together and make them work for you. And I love that. You get to experiment with it, right? To see if it really works out for it. And I absolutely love that. I would love to get a new brain. ADHD is trouble. Yes. It absolutely is trouble. On our last video, I talked about me with undiagnosed ADHD. Quick update on that. Two things that are very exciting. First, made an official appointment to talk to a professional about it. Second, I've not bitten my fingernails since that video. I don't know what it was about that video and talking about it and people's feedback. Amazing. This community is so nice and supportive. There were so many resources that people gave, a lot of really great things that people were talking about in there around like how they've struggled with similar things. I have something called a worry stone that's coming today. So I've been hyper aware of when I'm like trying to bite my nails or do whatever with it. I'm not going to lie to you. I I do this. And I'm like, don't do it, Mark. Like, you've done a good job. Someone told me about a worry stone, which essentially is like a curved stone, and it just gives your hand something to do. And that's what I'm noticing for myself, touching my beard, doing whatever. It's when I'm bored, when I'm driving. So I've been thinking recently about maybe trying something like that. So I have one on the way today, which I was very excited about doing. The video with you and your brother is the first of yours I watch. You've got an instant sub. How fun. Well, thanks. I really appreciate that. Hopefully you like the rest of the content on the page, because I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm being honest with you, that people are going to watch that video and be like, this is how it is all the time. It's chaos. It's crazy. It's drunk fun. I mean, that could be something we could get into, but honestly, it's more bullet drilling planning. We have fun though. I'm not going to lie. We're a different kind of group. I 100% love this and think it's amazing. We've got hello from Sweden, from France, from Puerto Rico. Hopefully, Puerto Rico. What was it? I was watching the New Year's. Y'all have fun in Puerto Rico. Let me tell you, that New Year's, like Rockin' Eve, Puerto Rico, amazing. So good. Greece. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. Norway. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about real quick, if we're okay with it, is going to be fountain pens. As we move on and go through basically my stream of consciousness, bullet journaling, what we're doing, time and place planning, and then just gonna finish off with some fountain pen stuff just to show you. I'm always iffy about doing fountain pen videos, like an actual recorded, edited one, because they don't always do great on my channel, but there's always like a core group of people who are here for it, and we'll see kind of what happens. But if I don't do one, then y'all get to see it. So right before the end of the year, I have a bad habit of doing this. I had a lot of store credit with Atlas Stationers. If you don't know, I'm an affiliate with them. And instead of getting payouts, I decided that I just want to do store credit. It just makes more sense. So if at any point you want to buy a fountain pen, ink, planner supplies, any of that kind of stuff, and you want to support the channel, you can use my discount code at Atlas Stationers. And I have links in my bios and stuff. I think it's Men Who Bullet. Men Who Bullet. Oh my gosh. That's so 2 years ago. Mark your pages 10 at Atlas Stationers. Will save you 10% off. So I had a lot of store credit. Awesome. And the first pen I got was a new Kaweco. I learned how to say that because the last time I said Kaweco, everyone yelled at me and says Kaweco. So I got it. So I had gotten this little Lilliput pen. It's a little tiny pocket pen from them. I got a broad nib or a double broad nib. It's like super thick. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I freaking love this pen. It is just so cool. It's so little, and you just put the top on it. It's just neat. So I was like, I want another one because I really liked it. So I ended up getting this one. It's called Fire Blue. Hopefully y'all can see this. Okay. So it's the same exact style, but what's cool about this is they've torched it. So each one of the pens gets like a custom torching, and it's just very cool looking. I think I talked about it in a previous video, if not a post. I'm kind of in this mode right now where I have a lot of fountain pens, no doubt about it. So now the ones I want to buy have to be special. There has to be something very cool about them. And this one was like fire torch pen. Hell yes. Like absolutely, definitely doing it. So I really appreciate it and going through with that. All righty. So let's keep going through. What is this little pop-up? Mr. Goodman just donated money. Thank you. That's awesome. I've never had anyone do that before. And look at you. Now you get a pop-up. Hold on. I have to like and comment and do everything to this. Thank you. I really appreciate that. No one's ever done that before. All right. So we've got the Kaweco. Excited for this one. We'll see how it works out. Amazing. All right. So this is my favorite one that I got. Heinz, I think is maybe how you say it. Maybe not. Again, new to me brand. I've definitely seen their stuff before. When I tell you that this pen is maybe one of the most beautiful pens I have in my collection. This one is called Big Sur. It is named after California. It's Big Sur. And when I tell you that this, it might be the most beautiful pen that I own. I don't know how well we can see. I would feel like my brother now, like, oh, look, with putting my hand up. I think it does actually work to focus. But like the nib of this one is super amazing colored. And then just the design on this is just out of this world. The design of it was so cool. So next week, I think this will be my first official fountain pen of 2025 to use inside of my bullet journal. I can't do anything about it. It's so amazing. All right. I did see a question here about pens. I just want to make sure that I hit it up. I have a narwhal and I can't figure out what's wrong with the nib. Ashley, figure out what's wrong with the nib. I wonder what's up with it. What's your problem? We'll see if we can troubleshoot it right here on the channel. I don't know that I can. I love fountain pens, don't get me wrong, but I am not like I'm not like I don't know how to fix them. All right. The next one here is from Visconti. Visconti is a brand that I've seen for a long time. First of all, can we talk about, I have to talk about the packaging on all of these, especially there's another one over here for, that we're going to look at. But like this, like everything's so nice. It's so nice. All right. So this one is one that I've actually been looking at for a while. Go ahead and hold it up here so you all can see it. This one is called Poseidon, and it's a very cool looking pen. It has all these like beautiful details around it. I loved this like curved pen thing. So pens for me they're equal part useful, equal part beautiful, right? That's where I'm at here. So it's got a really cool, it's magnetic on the tip. So it like sticks on there really nice. Nothing really fancy about the nib necessarily on it, but just the details of this, the handle here, kind of all the little accessory parts, absolutely amazing. One of those things where like I just saw it and I thought I have to have it, and I put it on my wish list, and I had enough that I got as a part of my affiliate work, and I said I'm going to treat yourself. So I treated myself for this Visconti. Ashley, no ink flow, and that's straight out of the box and cleaned. Interesting. Other people having problems with their Kaweco, lid won't pose properly, won't screw on, won't stay on. I think there's certain things like this that if you're having issues with your pens sometimes don't do great. Like there are issues with them. So you can always contact whoever you purchased it from. If it's something that has been like you've had the pen for a while and there's an issue, you may not necessarily be able to get like a lot of help or like a replacement. But if you're having like major issues with it, then definitely make sure that you send it back or question them and ask about it. I think it's super important. All right, let me keep going because I got to get going to work in a second. All right. Pinler, I believe is how you say this one. When I tell you the packaging on this one, the pen is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. This is another one of my favorites. Lapis blue is the color. I did a reel on this one last week. Oh, let me get this box open. I hate it. I'm sorry if the noises bother you, because I know it will probably bother me because I don't know how much it picks up. First of all, this is the packaging for this pen. This is what it comes in of. Okay. Hands down, beautiful, right? Like amazing. You open it like an old writing desk. So the top flaps down, this opens up. The pen is like perfectly perched here at the top. Inside of here are extra refills. There's actual note cards that are inside of here too. So usually I throw away like just the boxes if it's just kind of whatever. Like I won't throw away the Kaweco one. That's just too cool. I can't get rid of that. The other ones I typically do. I can't throw this one away. It's so nice. The pen itself is cool looking. Again, the details of this is what really drew it to me. Like little details that we have here on the clip and the pen as a whole. The hardware looks really cool. The black, the blue, all of the things. The magnetic top. Just super nice and really nice. And I really love the detail of it. So this is another one. I was just like, it's super modern. It's nice. It's a good brand. I know that they make fantastic pens. You know, probably not the most expensive one, but my goal isn't always expensive. I think others like assume that at a certain point you stop buying inexpensive pens. Don't get me wrong. I think that pen was still like over $100, maybe even $200. But I look for sales and I use discount codes and I use store credit. So like I'm all about buying things on the cheap, essentially, or getting them for a really good deal. All right. Our next one. Which one was this one? Why doesn't it say the name on the outside of the box? You would think that it would. All right, sorry, I'm going to look through the chat while I'm opening this. A lot of fountain pen packaging is amazing, but especially the anniversary ones. You're so right. I love when they do it. Serious soft spot for Italian brands. Visconti, yes, please. Yeah, they do things right. All right. Saint Dupont or ST Dupont is the name of this brand. And I got this one because of its cool style. So one thing you will notice that every pen I have has to have a cool body type to it. Something about it has to be special. this profile right here is why I got this. Actually, it's not why. I got it because of the tip that's on top of there. Super nice. I thought it was a retractable pen. It's not. Like that's the tip is just always out like that, but like it just looks super cool. And I loved everything about it. I just think it just looks beautiful. So it was my first, and I'm definitely excited to put it into play. I haven't used this as my very first one from them, but had to grab it because it looked neat. It was also on sale. You gotta love those. And that was everything. Yeah, that was everything. That's all the fountain pens. I have other cool stuff to show you guys, but I can't show you just yet. Some new inks. I'm very excited for them. Another question from Spilled Ink. I have a narwhal hard start issue. I've been told that the cleaner that manufacturers use to remove is now banned. Interesting. I've been told more use will force the manufactured oils out. Oh, gotcha. I've heard very similar things. I have to remind myself often to clean out pens before I use them. You kind of think like, aren't they cleaned out before I get them? No, probably not. So good thing to remember. Goulet Pen Company has some great videos for troubleshooting pen issues. Yes, they are a fantastic resource. Love it. Agree. Go back to the company you bought it for. Yes, check out the Goulet Pen Company. They're very good. Love the pens. Favorite ink from Ferris Wheel Press. Ooh, that's a really good one. I don't have a favorite. I have a lot. I don't know that I have a favorite necessarily just yet. I go through so many inks because I try to keep them flowing. The ones from Atlas Stationers, they did a really good one. It's called Atlas Iron Ore. So it's like black, but there is some shimmer in here. And I don't use a lot of shimmer inks all the time, but I like the fact that it's black. Well, let me rephrase that. I love shimmer inks. They're beautiful. I don't typically use them all the time, but every now and again I will pull one out. I use them more for dip pens, I feel like, because you can see more of the shimmer that's inside of those, especially because they don't always work with fountain pens. But that's probably a favorite of mine. I have plenty others. And a lot of them, like, again, I don't know that I would use on a daily basis, but they're really nice ones. I want the Cochran Duragraph, an Omniflex, and a Bueno Euphoria. I've got good things to say about all of those things. I don't know that I have a Duragraph, but the Omniflex nibs are really cool. The Ben, I call them Benu, but I think it's Binu, maybe. I don't know the right pronunciation of it. Everyone says things differently, but I've got a bunch of those. I actually was just looking at the new Benus or the Binus, whatever. They're daily pens. They just came out with that are like less flashy, but still a little flashy because that's who they are. Loving it. Spruce County Green, that's your color. Yeah, the greens are really nice. What's my favorite dip pen? Ooh, that's a really good question. I use a lot of the nib holders with them, honestly. So like I love the B size nibs, the kind of monoline looking ones, like a B3 or 5, I think, and they work really nice. They're big and thick, and you see a lot of the personality of their inks. So I'll use a lot of those as we get into it, which is super fun. Alrighty, so that's all the talks we're talking about today. So thank you, chat, first of all, for hanging out. Rewatch crew. Make sure to let us know. I think a lot of people have been using hashtag rewatch crew, which I love. Definitely let me know if you have any comments, conversations, all of those big, exciting things. Ooh, real quick, I saw someone mention Twisbees. Dip my toe into the fountain pen world with Twisbees. You're good on that. Figure out how to use those before moving on anything else. Sarah, my favorite pens ever are Twisbees. I actually have a video that I put inside that I'm going to be working on, which is my Twisbee collection, because Twisbees, I call them the snacks of the fountain pen world, because they're just super inexpensive and you can get them, and some are more expensive and some are not, and you just collect them all. They're a Pokemon, really, right? Like you have so many of them and they're so great. So I wanted to talk about those specifically because I think they're a great introductory pen, exactly like you just said. Get it, learn how to use it, and honestly just fall in love with it. It's so amazing and good. All right, cool. All right, I have to be a good boy now. I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for hanging out. Definitely drop any more things in the comments. Drop them in the chats. I love you guys. Hopefully you have a really fantastic start to your new year, your new bullet journals. If you have any other questions or anything else, drop them in the comments, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.